Hi, CMattDye here. Thanks for stopping by and checking out today's video. This is on the top 5 CNFT projects. We're going to talk about those. We're going to talk about what I did this past week or so. The last video was on the 16th, so I have a little bit of catching up to do. And then I'm going to talk about some mints that I'm looking at going forward. And I believe all these update videos from now on will have what I'm looking at minting in the next week or so. So let's get into the video. So first off, let's get into the volume. That's one thing I like to talk about. How is the market doing and what is it actually looking like? And you can see the volume has been trickling lower. That's just something that's been happening. You can see day over day, the volume is up, trades are down, NFTs sold are down. You know, I look at day to day just to see what's going on, but it's really not that important. Week over week, month over month, and then total volume, I believe, is the most important. So if we're looking week over week, volume is down, trades are up, NFTs sold are down. What does that tell you? People are purchasing higher priced NFTs. It's kind of interesting. If we go to the 30-day, we can see the volume is actually up, trades are up, and NFTs sold are actually down. And you can see the volume here is just not really good. If we go overall, you can see here we go, overall, you can see we had little spikes here, some spikes over here. More recently, that October spike, and then we had that end of year, very early beginning of this year spike, and now we're kind of just hovering here. So what's going to happen? Kind of have to wait and see. I think a lot of people were caught off guard with the market moving higher. Don't really see how, but it makes sense that they were, and now they're unsure what to do with NFTs. So I think it's probably going to stay lower volume. Newer mints are becoming hyped now, and a lot of new mints, you know, people are jumping into, and I think that's going to continue for a little while. As far as the established projects, are probably just going to keep hovering in a range, is what I'm thinking. And then whenever the market does drop back down, the opposite will probably happen. But right now, I think that's the trend we are seeing. So let's jump into the actual top 5. Number 1, Royal Chess Club chess pieces. My project, Alpha Surfers, we were able to give out a bunch of whitelists to this, do a little analysis. I did a video on them. I'm bullish on the project. I like it. I like the people behind it, the team, and the idea. So I'm bullish on this project. Micefia, it is what it is. 155 floor price. That's not a project I was looking at, nor did I want to get in it. So we'll see what happens with it. EarthNode. EarthNode is a good project, and I was talking good about it last time, and now it's top 3 on our list. Ape Society. Ape Society is a strong project, and right now it's hovering at number 4 with a 10,400 floor price. And then Clay Nation, of course, it's one of my favorites, and they're hovering at number 5 with a 3,900 floor price. And if we scroll down, you have a couple Alice in Wonderland, and then the Micefia suitcases, and then you have Cabins by the Ape Society, Ori Mob, Space Buds, the Mallard Order, Cardano Crocs Club, Mutants, Clay Nation Good Charlotte. So you have a lot of big projects in the top 10. You have a couple small ones. I think Royal Chess Club, we can go ahead and say they're going to be a large established project. And then the other ones, Clay Nation, Ape Society, EarthNode, are all good. Micefia, I don't really know anything about. That's why I'm not really commenting on them. But it's not something I really care to research. Unless you guys want me to, let me know, and I'll do a video and research them. So let's get into number 1 is the Royal Chess Club chess pieces. Floor right now is 139. They minted at 110, and then they did drop a little bit, and I believe the lowest I saw them were in the 80s. This says there was a sell at 85, so maybe it did drop down a little more. I remember seeing 87, but I'm not in front of the computer screen all the time, that would be really terrible. You know, if you had to do that, your life would definitely become compromised. So 85, that's not too bad. And now we see the floor starting to take off. It just had to feed through a little supply. And now that those NFTs went to people who want to hold them, now they're able to go up a little bit. And I'm looking forward to seeing how high they actually can go. I'm thinking, you know, 200 in the next week should happen, and we should be able to get a little bit of a pump from there if that does occur. Want to see it stay over 100, 120 ideally. Want to see price get over that 120, which it is, and want to see it stay over that as much as possible. Worst case scenario, as long as it stays over 100, it'd be okay. But I like to see it stay over that 120 level for a few days, and then we can see a little bit of a pop higher from that. Next, let's go to Micefia. Micefia floor price of 139. One thing I forgot to talk about with Chess Club, 6,000 all-time high sell, 741 holders out of 4,800. That's pretty healthy. Now let's go to Micefia. Micefia has 1,245 holders out of 4,316 minted. That's a healthy number. 4.4 thousand all-time high sell. And what I always say, unless something sells for over 10,000, you know, it doesn't mean anything. Over 10,000 sell means somebody has conviction out there. And then we look at the numbers and see if others have that same conviction. That's a healthy holder number right there. So, I mean, that's something to say. Floor price on Micefia is 139. And we can see over here, I don't know where they minted at. I really have done zero research in them. It is what it is. That's how I roll. But I think they minted either at 100 or 150. I don't really remember. And you can see they're still, it looks like it's still trying to find a floor, in my opinion. Still trying to find a floor. Wouldn't be shocked if it came back down. And 100 is that floor that I want to see hold. If it holds over 100 for a few days, then maybe it does get a little pop. If it breaks it, it's still trying to find a floor and looking bad. So that's the way I would look at this. You can see that the top holders do hold a good amount of them. Let's scroll up, and it says there's zero listed, which that's a lie because there's 797 down here. So come on guys, you got to get your software better. But that's not too terrible. So there's more holders than there are listed right now. But you know, we'll have to see what happens in the next few days, and that should give us a clue as to what's actually happening with it. Next, EarthNode. EarthNode, all-time high sell of 135,000. That's huge. If you own, I think you have to own 60,000 World Mobile tokens, and then you can buy an EarthNode, and there you go. Don't quote me on that because I'm not exactly sure, but it's something similar to that. Right now, the floor is at 77,500, which is pretty good. 447 holders out of a 1,000 mint. And most of the people who hold these are probably going ahead and staking, because that's the only reason to have this. And you can see that the floor has really been trying to find itself. It's been pretty consistent over that 70,000 mark. You can see over here 85, 80, here to 73, 79, 76, 75, 77.5. So it's been pretty consistent over 70,000. I think that because it's in a bear market, it's trading down here. If it was a bull market, I don't think it would be below 100,000. But it's just the market that we're in. So if you are planning on staking your World Mobile tokens, becoming a node operator, it's probably a pretty good chance sometime soon that you'll get a pretty decent price on this. So next, Ape Society. Ape Society, strong project, 250,000 all-time high sell, and right now 10,700 floor price. Last video I made on the 16th, you know, I was talking about seeing this come down, and it has come down. and I was looking somewhere in here. I didn't watch my old video, so I don't know exactly what I said, but I remember saying it was going to come down. I remember saying something about 8,000, maybe 7,000, something like that. Why don't I watch my old videos? Because I don't care. I don't want to go off of old data. I want to go off what I'm seeing right now. That's why. Right now, Ape Society is just fluctuating. It doesn't look like it's going to come up here and break this high. If it did, that would be very interesting. It's not what I'm expecting right now. I'm expecting it to go in this continued range. So below, we'll call it 13,000 and above 7,000. Somewhere in there, I expect it just to, go in that range and just hang out like it's doing right now. So it'll be interesting to see what actually does happen with it. If it gets over 10,500, that would be a little bit interesting, but right now it's kind of there. So we'll have to kind of wait on that and see what happens. Next is Clay Nation. Clay Nation is one of my favorite projects. All-time high sell of 100,000. You have 42.95 holders out of 99.70 that are out there. 3,900 floor price. And you can see right here, pretty much like Ape Society, it looks like it could even come down a little bit more. So we'll see if it breaks that 3,900 floor, and if it does, I'm thinking maybe 3,000 to 3,300. Maybe it comes down there, is what I'm thinking, and that might be a good time to try to snatch a few up. So that's what I'm looking for, is that potential for it to come down a little more. We'll have to kind of wait and see, but I think with these new mints being hyped so much, it's going to take a little bit out of the established projects. Just, selling them to get into the new mints, and then eventually it'll be reversed. But that's what I'm seeing right now. So that's what I am looking at. So what have I done recently? Well, I was able to give out some whitelists to Royal Chess Club. Pretty excited about that. Gave out some whitelists recently to Valkyrie, which is a street brand company, and that's interesting. We ended up buying Mutant token when it dropped. Well, I did, and some people, others in the Discord did as well. I don't tell people what to do. I let them know what I'm doing, and maybe they like it and they do the same thing. Maybe they don't. It is what it is. But whenever the mutants tanked, when they got hacked a few days ago, I was buying as much as I could at around 2 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents, and I quit buying right after that. And then I started selling around 8 to 9 cents, kept quite a bit, and now I'm just holding some. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I did with mutants. Also had a really nice Cardano trade, which worked out very, very well. We were nearly a 6x on our risk. So that was very interesting. And I usually call my trades like that because, no one cares if you make 200% if you turn around and lose it all the next trade. No one cares. But if you can make a certain percentage of your risk, like 6 times your risk on one trade, 9 times your risk on another trade, once you start making gains like that, how difficult is it going to be to actually lose money? It's going to be pretty difficult, because if you're making a 6x, that means you have to lose 6 times just to be break even again. So that's how I look at that. So that was pretty good. That was our big trade of this year. And right now, all of our trades are free in the Discord. All of my trades, you can get in there and see it. That's all going to be private after the mint. So what am I looking forward to? Let's go over here to the calendar, and we can scroll down. And Mad Monkeys, I'm not quite sure if I want to mint them or not. I was thinking a mint, it would be a nice flip. And then they said they were going to mint for 150. That's seems a little bit high, so I'm not really sure on this one yet. These guys are minting on the 31st for a whitelist. I have quite a bit of whitelist, so I'm just kind of waiting on that. I'm going to do my research, do more research than I've already done and see if it's actually worth it. Continuing to scroll down, Poke, I'm really excited about. So if you own a Poke right now, and they're going to do the snapshot closer to mint, so I'm assuming on the 4th, since the mint is on the 5th of February, but don't quote me on that at all, because you have to get in their Discord and ask questions. Right now, if you own a Poke, you can mint another one for 330 ADA. That's pretty cool. So you're a 1-to-1 whitelist, and then they're going to have some for public. I really don't know how many, but it's going to be very, very few, if any, because not only do the holders get a 1-for-1 whitelist, but everyone who was active in the Discord and were not holders are now whitelisted to get a mint. So I don't know how many are going to be public, but I'm very excited about that one. I talked about Valkyrie earlier. They're minting on the 3rd, and they're definitely not on this calendar, but I'm looking into that. They're doing an AMA tomorrow, and I'm going to be in that. I'm going to be doing my due diligence with the project and seeing that further. Chains of War, I'm whitelisted for that as well. And you know, 200 is a lot, 200 plus Mira, but I'm going to wait and see how that looks. I'm pretty sure I'm going to mint this just because there's a lot of eyeballs on it. You know, a lot of people are looking at it, a lot of people are excited, so I think I'm going to mint this one. This is on the 5th. And Blacklist, I'm also whitelisted on. So I'm planning on minting this. We'll have to see what actually happens. I've spoken to the team, really nice group of guys, and you know, I think this one's going to be really good. So I am excited about that as well. ADA Inmates, I am whitelisted on. I'm going to mint this, and you know, I think this one's going to be pretty good. This community is very, very strong behind it, and because of that, I think it's going to be a good mint. I think it's going to be a really good mint. And if I scroll down further, there's nothing else that I'm really looking at. Other things that I'm looking at, Stag Alliance, I'm whitelisted with them, just waiting for them to give a date. And waiting for Pond, which I have whitelist as well. And Goofy Gopher Mining Club, I have a whitelist, but we'll just have to wait for them to set a date. And I think Pond's going to be sometime in February. Goofy Gopher Mining Club, I'm not exactly sure. But those are some projects I'm really looking into. Many of these I've made videos on. Not all of them. But we really have to wait and see what actually does transpire with that. And with that, that's the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If there's something you would like me to do a little bit differently next time, let me know. If you enjoyed something, let me know that as well. I would greatly appreciate it. So with that, thank you so much for your time. Have a great rest of your day. I'll see you around the markets. Take care.